Tomas Mauricio. Come on down. Tyler Kistner. Come on down. David Romero. Come on down. Heath Elsenson. Come on down. You're the first four contestants on The BS and Beer is Right.
Na 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 na. Hey, gotta love that podcast show. Na 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 na. Hey, yeah, I love that podcast show. Oh, BS and Beer is the place to go to get all the Saints news. Hell yeah, podcast show. Na 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 na. Hey, gotta love that podcast show. Na 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 na. Hey, yeah, I love your podcast show.
There you go. Hey, welcome in another week, another edition. It's the BS and Beer podcast crew recording live at our virtual studios. With me, as usual, Heath Elsenson to my right.
Hello.
To my left, Tomas Mauricio. I'm Dave Romero. I'm your host, and for the next hour, we're going to be talking more Saints and useless information than anyone needs to know about. So grab a drink, because from where we going, Tomas? Butte La Rose to Pearl River.
Pearl River?
I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Sit back, grab a drink, relax, because we're going to do this thing BS and Beer style. Welcome in, gentlemen. I tell you what, it's exciting. It's time. We just a couple of days away from the first preseason game.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when we start really finding out things, because I tell you what, right now, it's fever pitch to me. These people, these players, Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, all I'm hearing about is how incredible he intercepted Drew Brees. Now, and here's the thing you have to consider. A lot of times we're talking about this training camp stuff, and you go, oh, this guy did something great. No, this guy, nobody gets by him. But you don't realize that you have ones going up against guys who won't even be on the team.
Right.
But when Williams is intercepting Drew Brees,
Yeah.
that means something. That means something.
Just got to work on that tackling part.
You know what I want to say, Tomas?
Yes, sir.
I'm getting a little tired when it comes to the safety play and Williams and I mean the play in the playoffs against the Vikings. I'm really getting tired of the narrative, because the way and it seems like everyone talks about this guy like somehow or another that play, while it's going to stick with him the rest of his life, somehow could just destroy his career.
Well, let's back up for a second. We wouldn't have even been in that game had he not intercepted earlier in the game.
Right.
So he's not the GOAT. He's not the bad token, and he made one bad play. I don't think it doesn't define him. I really don't think it's going to bother him, other than it's going to inspire him, encourage him to work even harder.
I agree.
And don't be surprised that, in my opinion, he might turn out in the long run to maybe even be better than Lattimore. Just saying. Just think about that for a moment.
And that's the thing. What we're hearing right now, and we'll see what it actually means, Heath. But what I'm hearing right now is, it sounds like he's already better than Lattimore. And again, I say that a little tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
But the point is that the guy, matter of fact, it's not just the interceptions. Drew Brees was actually talking about him and comparing him to some of the all-time greats.
Yes.
And the way he did it, it wasn't like someone said, tell me about Williams, and specifically tried to have Drew. Drew just kind of organically talked about him.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, the report side of camp would suggest that it definitely lit a fire under him.
Yep.
Because he seems to be back with a vengeance. And it's not just Drew Brees. It's not just the coaches. It's all of the writers that are observing practice. Everybody is talking about how good this guy looks and that he might be the best player in camp. so far, and we've had a lot of reports of other guys doing really great things.
Yeah, I mean, you got
know,
Smith, Traquan Smith,
Yeah.
is having a huge camp.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the guys who are just making a name for themselves. And I don't know, maybe the first couple of days, but I swear from like practice 3, 4 on, it's just every day Williams, and everybody is super impressed with him. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm wearing all my gear that I picked up. I'm just showing it off a little bit. Picked up at the Walmart over in New Orleans. And just, I shopped all the different places, but, just got this off the rack. No, it's got that, though. It got the Velcro thing in the back.
Yeah.
But I have this other hat that
That's
I went
where
to.
it put your ponytail through.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I grow my hair out, that's where I'm going to put that ponytail
Yeah.
through. So, but I tell you what, before we go and start the show, we got to tell the people about all the stuff we can do if they send us some Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
So,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, like, it's all the rage. I actually got at least 2 emails and a couple of texts, or not, but tweets about just the. So, Tomas, what's the Bitcoin ratio again? I
Well,
forget.
now, we're running a special today. Today, you said 1 hour. Get ready for 1 hour. Yes, that's true. But we're going to run another hour. And if you want in another, we have a subscription. We have it ready to go for the first month only.
well, first month only.
First
Okay.
month.
Okay. I'm
All
writing
you have
this
to
down.
pay is 0.0030.
Right.
Easy to remember. First month. After that, we cut it in half.
We cut it in half.
After that, every following month,
Half.
Yeah.
0.0015. You set it up for a 2-year subscription. You're good to go.
2-year
There you go.
subscription. Now, okay, here's the thing, though. Apparently, we're trying to keep up. If y'all haven't noticed yet, and we're doing this for the people who inspired us, I guess we have to do something. And there's some people, I don't know, they drinking. We have to do something better. And I was thinking that maybe we'll have Heath take off his shirt, catch himself on fire, and run through the parking lot. For I don't know how much Bitcoin. I'm having a hard
I'll do
time
that.
translating.
I'll do that for one whole Bitcoin.
One Bitcoin.
Whoa.
One Bitcoin.
Man.
Now listen, you might have to get
That's
a
about
bunch.
$7,000, but okay.
We might have to get a bunch of people together.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I won't throw in on that one.
Yeah? Oh, you wanna see
and
that?
Then,
Okay,
And then
yeah.
Tomas, now that we have the Vcast, so people can actually see what I'm talking about, we're gonna shave him down.
Good luck.
And the point is that we don't want to invest too much in the razors.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get some scissors to
No,
do
I
some
told
trimming.
you now. You got to invest in Harry.com.
Harry.com.
Yeah, it's one of those. They made in Germany.
Harry's, yeah.
It's a
You know,
razor
the only-
place.
Yeah, and you get your monthly. The only thing it'll probably take about a year's worth of collection before you can actually make a dent on me.
All right. So
Because
wait.
the only place I don't have any hair, right here, palm in my hands. Okay, we're good to go.
All right. So
Soles in my feet.
So there you go. Send your Bitcoin in to our Go PayPal Me Fund
you
account.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's www.
Well, you
Go
send it into your
pay-
wallet.
What?
You gotta have a Bitcoin. You got to.
Yeah,
There's a
it
wallet.
doesn't work
the
that way.
Virtual
Okay.
currency.
See, you don't
yeah,
understand how that works.
Oh, I thought they just
Yeah,
sent
you
it
got to
in.
have a virtual wallet to be able
Can't
to.
they can't mail us some Bitcoin?
No,
No, they
I
can't.
could-
no such thing.
Just give them the address, mail it in, make it easy.
Don't work that way.
All right, mail your Bitcoin in. We're not gonna worry about the account. Just mail it in because apparently we don't have
Heath
one in
and
wallets.
we're going to set up a wallet designation for us so
Okay.
that you can easily transfer your funds.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, and then that's how it works.
What? Tyler? Oh wait, hold. 1 hour only. Oh, Tono. Heath, read that for me. I'm too old.
Heath will go shirtless for a whole Bitcoin.
There you go. 1.0.
Tyler working the board right now,
you
producing
It's
the
over
show.
$7,000 right now, isn't it, Tyler?
It's just under. So
I don't know, man. Unless
I
you
dropped a lot in a week, huh?
Unless what's that over 50-year-old dating site? Unless you're on there, I don't know if there's anybody that's going to
Our time.
give you $7,000.
It's our time.
It's kind of scary that you know the answer to that. But
Well,
I
I
think
am
that's-
single again, Dave.
That's about the only place that you'll be able to go and get $7,000 for taking your shirt
I
off.
know.
I'm confident. Although you jumped in on my new thing. You know, there's the Fight Club. We got the Weight Club.
Weight Club. Yeah.
All right. So if you
What's
go,
the rule? What's the only rule of Weight Club?
there's only one. You got to talk about the Weight Club.
There you go.
That's the rule of there's only one rule in Weight Club. And it's the first. It's the first rule.
the first rule.
You got to
Gotta
talk about Weight
about
Club. So those of you who don't know, see what I started off and I'm trying to slim down and you know I'm getting ready for the season. You know I want to make sure I'm in shape. I can make it through the entire season, and I need a little help. So I got on Twitter and get some guys, and I got like 6 or 7
Yeah, I
guys,
saw that. I
including
saw
Heath,
that.
jumping on with us.
Yeah.
And so we all going to motivate. The part of it is you have to be okay with, and matter of fact, we encourage shaming.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, I'm in weight club. You got to, like, if they don't, like, if one day they weigh in and they, you know, and it's some big boys I'm with, man. All of them.
I saw there was some couple
250,
guys.
310. I'm like,
And
dang, man.
Callie Cajun is exactly what do you say? He's an offensive lineman.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Yeah, man. I didn't know. He looked small in the picture.
Yeah.
So you know how it is. You get on the internet and start talking like you tough and everything. You talk to him and he shows up one day. You're like, whoa, all right, bro. You know I was kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if they 350 one day, because that's what they are, none boy, and then they 352, then you can shame them. The problem is they 352.
Yeah.
So you could be like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Just shame them from afar.
Yeah, right. You just have to kind of be kind about how you shame them. But anyway.
Yeah, I see.
All right, so let's get the show started. Huh?
All right.
Saints, you ready? All right. It's the BS and Beer podcast crew. Dave Romero, Heath Elson, Tomas Mauricio, Tyler Kistner in the booth producing the show. Listen, one of the big things that I think news-wise that happened this week, our good friend, the guy we've all been so supportive of.
Some things are healthy to talk about.
One a day men's.
That's him.
That's him. Yep. Coleman, Brandon Coleman was released. Tomas, you were giving us, during the break, you were giving us some great medical terminology.
Yes, I was.
You want to share with everyone? I'm ready. I got the same joke. I'm going to use it again.
It's about his neck.
Yeah. That's not what you said. What did he say? It was a part of the body.
I guess that's the part.
That's
and
the
you
part.
Said,
that's the part that holds your head on
there
the
you
rest of your
go.
body.
Yeah.
It's about his neck. That's right.
The neck bone's connected to the head bone. That's how that
Well, that's
works.
what I understood. He's got 2 injuries, is what I understood. And coach said he's on the right path and everything's, but what the hell does that mean, you know? And I believe he said like 4 weeks before he's able to compete, which to me is interpreted into, he won't be playing the season.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. I mean,
So-
if he's been hurt since the playoffs, I mean, and he's still
Playoffs?
he's still 4 weeks
Actually,
away.
I think it was a neck and a back. I think it's all the vertical.
This sounds like a Popeye's chicken commercial right here. The neck and the back and the gizzard.
And gizzard too.
All for
Can I get a
the.
box of some Coleman?
Some things are healthy to talk about.
One a day men's.
There you go.
Well,
Now,
okay.
if he gets beat out, not beat out, he's gone now. But if his spot winds up getting taken by Floyd or Tate, then we'll have gone from one a day plus iron to Centrum Silver. We're going to have an old man in there.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. You tell me right off the bat, and I know that Floyd has had his issues.
Yes.
And I'm
But he's
still
the
amazed.
first-round draft pick.
I'm still amazed when I see the people who are supporting Coleman and they're talking about all the one. Okay, I get it. He blocked well. That's great. Thanks. You can tell me Floyd's not a bigger threat on the field.
Oh, absolutely.
Now doesn't Floyd have a little problem with the
He had a DUI for which he was suspended for the NFL.
yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really know if he had some.
I think he had more history than that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was about.
I don't either.
but
I know that the DUI was the principal one, which is why Arizona let him go.
But, I mean, he's a guy, he's like 6'3",
Yeah, I mean, he's a
220
big
or
guy.
something. He's a big guy. And,
he was the 13th pick in the first round. Their idea was that he was going to eventually replace Fitzgerald, in Arizona. And then when they let him go because of whatever incident he had, he ended up with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had some other little issue, I think, along the way. So there you go. But, hey, if the guy cleans himself up, you're talking about a first-round draft pick.
right.
Yeah.
He's obviously talented.
And he's not old. So, I mean, if he's fixed himself up some kind of way, was it late 20, 28, something like that?
Yeah, I think he's 28, 29, something like that.
Well, here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, he's going to bring you more. Now, the question would be, is he going to bring you more? What do you need him for? Because, okay, Brandon Coleman, he did a good work. The funny thing is he didn't play big as a receiver, but he played big in the running game, and he blocked well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I just don't see that being something that keeps a guy around. And I just see Floyd as being someone that potentially, and you have to imagine at this point in his career, it's probably humbled him quite a bit. Maybe he keeps his nose clean. He's not on a big deal. I mean, he's probably on
1 year,
league minimum.
Because if you hear the interview with
Yeah, him or her.
with our guy who's the bean counter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Loomis.
I said, oh yeah, and I couldn't remember the name either.
I have
so.
Ireland in my head. I can't get it out of my head yet.
Yeah.
Loomis. Had an interview with Loomis, and Loomis basically said, look, the reason we could consider these guys is because their price finally came down to what we could afford.
Yeah.
So when the price was right, come on down. Okay, there you go. So that's the reason we have them, short-term contracts, probably not much more than veteran minimum.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, right? We know we got Thomas. We know we got Ginn. We know we got
Traquan Smith.
Traycon Smith. Who else? Come on. Is that it?
That's it.
No, Meredith.
Oh, Meredith. That's right.
Okay, that's four.
Right, right.
At this point, we know, barring injury, are going to make the team. So if they keep five, you're talking about you got Tommy Lee Lewis, you got Floyd, you got Brandon Tate, and anybody else.
And generally speaking, that fifth position, that's going to be a special teams guy.
Right. And so out of the two that came in, you might be looking at Tate. Tate's made a career basically out of, in 10 or 11 years that he's been in the league, he only has 71 catches. He stayed in the league over special teams.
Yeah, I only see it between two guys.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee and Tate. That's it. I think that the last position is going to go to one of those two guys.
Yeah.
Breaking news from the BS and Beer News Desk. Breaking news from the BS and Beer News Desk.
We got some breaking news over here, Tomas.
Right,
Apparently, we were just talking about Traquan Smith. Our backup running back situation has been solved.
Yep.
Traquan Smith is going to get a lot of carries in,
yes, he is.
in Ingram's absence.
Yeah.
So I haven't.
Well, we said we needed a power runner to replace Ingram, and they had to go to
He's a big
Traquan
kid.
Smith.
Yeah. With that long speed, like
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see it. I find it funny. Those of you who don't know what we're talking about, NFL Network comes out, and I mean, listen, I get it. We just couldn't remember the general manager's name. I mean, I get things like that. Having said that, I'm probably not.
We're not professionals.
I wouldn't consider myself a professional, especially the money that we make doing this. Don't forget the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, they come out here, it's not just saying somebody's name wrong. If they'd have been like, Albert Kamara, you're like, okay, they made a mistake. I get it.
Right.
But they not only said that he was going to get carries, but they doubled down on it and started talking about how he would fit in the role and
they had lower third graphics and all with his name and about it's like the whole thing. Like they just completely went off the.
That to me tells me that person didn't just say something and misunderstood. That there was a team of people sitting in a room, like, okay, you make the graphics, you get the history on it, and I'm going to report it. And then they're going to come out there and then just tell this whole story of something. And I literally was watching. I'm like, oh, Saints coming on, and I'm like, and
wait, what?
I'm like, I mean, they just making it up as they go, It's like the game.
Even sadder, they have somebody on the NFL Network team who has covered the Saints for years, Mike Triplett.
Right.
Well, they could have asked him, hey, can you give us some lowdown intel?
Right, and they obviously didn't. Because I can't imagine that like Triplett, he's there at practice and sees all this. He's in the know. More, obviously. Well, no, wait a minute. We're talking. I just realized you're talking about NFL Network and ESPN. So it was the NFL Network, their crew that screwed up the Smith thing and Triplett. But thanks for that distraction.
Okay.
Anyway, but
we just wanted to get in on it.
Yeah, we
wanted to prove that it can happen to anybody.
It can happen to anyone.
Everybody can screw up.
Send your Bitcoin. Send your Bitcoin.
I'm gonna have to give another discount. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now we have to discount it some more. When we take the next break, we're gonna work out the discount.
If we can get up to 0.35 Bitcoin, we're gonna start putting out a real show.
Yes, one with accurate information
Yeah.
and professionalism.
That's right. Well,
I
back
wouldn't
off
hold
the
your
beer a
breath.
little bit and more BS. Go ahead.
Right. All right. So anyway, I was just like I said, man. I'm not picking on him for making a mistake. I'm really giving him a hard time for, and it goes a step further. Like I literally get frustrated when I hear people talking, and I'm talking about fans or what have you, talking about the national experts. The national experts don't know what they're talking about. Now, a guy like Mike Triplett, he works for a national operation in ESPN, but he is there at practice. He is there, the beat reporter for ESPN at Saints camp.
Right.
When you get on the NFL shows, those guys, do you think that guys like, and I'm throwing these, Deion Sanders, do you think that he spends hours poring over, player information, trying to come up with,
No.
I do.
Second, but you're not Deion Sanders.
That's right. I come up with 78 linemen.
But right, but these guys and they don't.
Well, they have people that, Dave, this is the way this works. As a professional radio guy, I can tell you. These professional radio people, not me, but these professional radio people, they have workers working for them. They just show up. They hand them some paper. Here you go. Here's all you need to know. So Deion gets there. Man, my feet's hurt. And he put his feet down on the floor. Man, my feet's hurt.
What are you talking about?
He's got his feet are permanently in. If you ever watch him, he never wears hard shoes because he's got that turf toe thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for life.
Wow.
See, now I tried to make a funny joke.
Well, I didn't get it. Went
and
over,
nobody, it just right over
went over my head. Now,
Yeah.
that or the Golden Corral. Because I see people
I
walking
told
around
you
in the
that.
Golden Corral, walk around in flip flops and shower shoes. So I didn't know if the tie-in was
They're
somewhere.
not country trash. They just all got turf toe.
Yeah, right. Now I look at it in a completely different way.
There you go.
Oh, they.
Uh,
All right.
Now go ahead.
I don't know, man. You want to take a break? I feel
No,
like
I'm doing. We
you-
want
no.
to roll.
we want to roll.
Now go ahead, take a break if you want to take a break.
Well, the reason
But
I
before
wanted
you take
to
a break, hold
okay.
on. If people want to contact us, what's that number?
The hotline.
There
Love
you
the
go.
hotline.
Yes,
701-901-1295. Give us a call. We do have a hotline call, and that's
do.
why I wanted to take a break.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take that break.
So that we can get that
Wrap it
hotline
up.
call on.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And so we'll do that. But you
Cue
can
it up.
also email us.
Oh, we
And-
can.
And you know what? If it wouldn't be in confidentiality, if it wouldn't be confidential, because these people who sent me these messages, I'd read a couple of emails. But I would love for you guys to send some emails to talk to us, ask them some questions, get involved in the show. And that's bsnbeer
Yeah.
at iCloud.com.
Okay.
bsnbeer at iCloud.com. The way to contact us. If you're not watching the Vcast, you probably
should.
have no idea what our Twitter handles are. So mine is SaintsBS. Heath,
got nothing. BS.
that's it, man.
That is? All
And
right.
Tomas is still confused.
Tomas 19.
Tomas 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it right. Huh? Yeah, all right.
You can also find me though at BS and Beer Who Dat. But there you go.
This-
It's at Tomas 19.
Right,
That's the
we
official-
cleared that up. We cleared that up. We gotta
Hey, I only take it one time.
gotta be official. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get that hotline call.
All right, get it
and
up.
tons more Saints to talk about. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It's the BS and Beer Podcast crew. Dave Romero, Heath Elson-Son, Tomas Mauricio, Tyler Kistner, producing the show for us today. Listen, Tomas, we're gonna have
Yes,
to
sir.
we have to pick the pace up because apparently he stole the show last week.
Apparently so.
I mean, you were on a roll. You were like butter.
Okay.
On a roll. I don't remember all the little comments.
well, that's because he'd taken 2 weeks off, man. He was off our
Yeah, oh, he
remember?
was probably writing all kind
Yeah.
of stuff down. I'm gonna say this is gonna be real funny, and then start adjusting away. He
Yeah.
came. The comment was the box lunch, so we have to make a.
Yeah, when I said, he's going to.
I got the franchise rights here in Lexington.
That's
All
right.
right,
So
yeah,
you're
well-
going to have to go somewhere
All
else.
right, there you
But
go.
get in on Vacaro's box lunches.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have to make a
On the
commercial.
ground
I
floor.
think you have it in Nashville, don't you? Because it's not going to be here. It's going to be in Nashville.
Well, I got the franchises here. He's going to be opening up Nashville, and I'm going to take over to Lexington.
Oh, I see.
I see.
Man, you give me a general manager job out
Because
there?
he's real popular here, you know.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
real popular.
Real
All right, so listen, we have let's take that hotline call we talked about a little earlier.
Hey, this is Lil Dice. Hadn't heard anybody talk about this, but what's up with Marshawn Lattimore and the old '80s gym shorts?
Oh,
Like, what's going on here? Also, Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara with the hoodies outside in the summer in New Orleans, working out. Like, this is crazy.
hey man, first of all, Lil Dice, thank you for calling. I agree with you, man. But the thing about what I don't get is is he talking about like those old '80s shorts?
Yeah, I think so.
Like they like booty shorts.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And the hoods. But
And the hood- it's hot. But think about it though, it's like, I mean, like I can't imagine if they're out there and their booties hanging out of it. It's like Daisy Dukes.
Daisy Dukes.
but if you think that's bad,
Okay.
because I know you think it's bad. And Little Dice, I know, brother, you think it's bad. But I'm going to tell you right now. Have you seen Scam Newton
Oh God.
wearing his little tiny shorts with his little boots? There you go. And his hat with a feather in it.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Somewhere-
what to say.
His coach must not have been around because, he needed at that moment a donkey wrangler.
oh, wait, hold up. We got.
He's a quarterback's coach. So, really, you know what he is? He's a donkey wrangler. There you go. That's what I'm telling you. There you go. Because when I saw that picture, I was like, a fashionista.
A fat, yeah. No,
maybe he got his Ancestry.com thing done and finally he's got some German in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
He did have the
Yeah,
little
did he
suspenders
have the
on.
I
suspenders
think
and
so.
all
He
on
needed
with
the lederhosen.
And the things, those shorts, they're not made for like a full-figured boy like him. They kind of made for like them flat,
Yeah.
like them women that got like booties like a CD case.
Yeah.
Just
That's
kinda,
like a 10-year-old boy.
yeah, like a police officer or something. just flat.
Is that one of the other sites you go to? No.
No, I don't go to clergy.com.
Oh man.
There you go.
All right. Where's
get
this
it
show? Wait,
Now,
hold
wait a
on.
second. Now, let me tell you.
Order here! Keep order, I said!
Okay, keep it.
All right, so now I was just going to say to the other comment that Little Dice made. Hey, I don't know. I'm old. We used to go to lose weight. We'd put garbage bags
Yep.
underneath our sweatshirts.
Yup.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
know?
they're trying to lose weight. Yeah.
And so maybe that's what it is. They're trying to, keep that weight down or whatever happens to be. That would make perfect sense to me why they're wearing an extra layer to work up the sweat.
I mean, I guess. I mean, you would just think when you 22. I mean, how old?
Well, I don't know. The better ones and all
23?
live out there in the desert. They wear all kind of extra layers of clothes and all.
you know.
Somehow keeps
Yeah,
them
but
cool.
it's
probably not
it's
a black hoodie.
It's a dry
made out
heat.
of fleece
It's a dry
material,
heat.
but
That's
yeah.
right.
it's a
Make
dry
big
heat.
cookies.
It's a
out
dry
of
heat.
it.
It's
But
different.
anyway, if you see Camaro on his GQ photo shoot, I mean, does anybody on this team have like even an ounce of body fat left on him? I mean, you were talking about Marcus Williams before, and we were talking about, shaving my body. Look, I don't have any problem taking off my shirt in front of people except for Marcus Williams. Okay, there ain't no way I'm standing next to that dude. Because I'll look like, hey, Fat Albert, Oh, my God.
No, it's not, dude. Seriously, like you go out there, I don't care. You've been working out and doing you got your little clang, 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 and you go out and cover the Saints, and they come stand. Because a lot of times at practice, especially when it's indoor, they'll come right there on the sideline, just kind of stand next to them, and it's very demasculating when you standing next to these dudes. So yeah, and you got I worked out this week, clang, clang. I'm the one plate guy, clang.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, let's see some more football.
All right, get to us.
Okay, I know this is kind of a name I'm throwing out there. Keith Kirkwood,
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Apparently, man,
I've seen his name a lot in the reports and all.
You
yeah.
said you are?
I have, yeah.
Well, and Tomas, we've had this conversation.
Yep.
I'm like, man, I don't even care about all those guys on the bottom of the roster. If they don't have a chance to make the team, when they start doing something, but all of a sudden I can't help. I just keep reading his name. Now, I haven't seen a whole bunch. I didn't see anything from him when I was in New Orleans, but the last week or so.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. Because of the changes in the rules for kickoffs and punts, the special team rules, don't be surprised if the Saints keep more defensive back, safety, linebacker, wide receivers, rather than offensive linemen, defensive linemen. If I'm an offensive lineman or defensive lineman, I'm thinking, dude, I might not make it to be the third or fourth guy because the way they've changed the rules, you're not going to have them big, wide body guys be the majority of the
Right.
special teams.
Did you get a chance to see the Hall of Fame game?
Yes, I did.
I did not.
Okay. Did you see the kickoff? There wasn't enough, and I got to tell you, as much as I miss football, I can only stomach about a half of that football before it's just unwatchable.
That's all I watched was the first half.
So I saw a couple of kickoffs, and I think the score ended up being like 3 to -7 or something.
I don't know why. I wasn't paying attention to the score. I only watched it because I wanted to see Snead. That's it. That's the only reason I watched it.
But I saw the kickoff, and I can see the difference, and I heard some people talking about it.
Yeah.
And my initial reaction, if you remember, I don't know, months ago, we kind of had a little segment about it. I didn't see how it was going to be any better, but I'm starting to see it. When you actually see it in action, see it applied.
Yeah.
Seems a little different. So I'm curious because the way everybody's talking is just it's going to be a exciting play again, and because they're kind of reducing the ability for guys to get a good running start.
Right.
That there's going to be less injuries. And I'm all for that. I don't want to see football change. I don't want to see them come out and do like the XFL where they roll the ball out and 2 guys go after it or just flip a coin and you start at the 20. I don't want that.
But for our team, we're not going to let them run back because we got the rocket that comes down the field. We got the ballistic missile that comes down the field. Yeah, Taysom Hill.
Taysom.
Remember?
Yeah.
He hit that man.
I mean, dude, listen. He's a quarterback.
Yeah.
And we've gotten better reports on him since last week.
Yeah.
It seems like he's improved,
Yeah.
and we did talk about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean,
He's
the guy
older
is
on the
like
kicks.
225 pounds and runs 4.4. I mean,
You want to get in front of that, man?
it's going to be interesting to see. There's so much stuff, man. I tell you, we talk about this often, how I'm like, I try to be fair, and I try not to be a homer on the show.
No.
But man, I tell you, I mean, you keep listening to this stuff, and I'm like, man, I mean, you're talking 13-3, 14-2.
If we're talking about quarterbacks, I have no problem taking off my shirt standing next to Tom Brady. No problem whatsoever. I can do this, and Tom Brady goes,
Just kind of photobomb him and
Yeah,
just
that's
kind of
it. That's
just
it,
give him
you
a little.
But Tyson Hill? No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we finally got a little bit of good word out of Savage too. Apparently,
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah.
I guess they pushing each other.
Well, he's been with the quarterback guru for a while now. Yeah, that's
Now,
what
I've
it
been
is.
thinking about
You're,
that.
you're starting to see that pay off.
I'm
now.
going to tell you, I've been thinking about this since you brought that up last time. I really have. I think we've got that wrong. I don't think that I think Peyton is the offensive guru.
Oh yeah,
I think he's a
wouldn't
guy who
disagree
knows
with that
how
at
to
all.
set everything up on the quarterback. The guy
There's
who is
no
the
arguing
quarterback
that, yeah.
coach is the one that hasn't produced anything.
We got to get rid of that bum.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we
if you-
did once, and we brought him back
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, as long
because
as
his last name's Lombardi.
as long as we don't have to, as long as we have to get rid of Peyton, because and you're right, he's an offensive guru.
Yeah.
And the
No,
questionable
but he
part.
has been called the quarterback. It's not
Well,
just
whoever
me.
called him
It's
that.
not
well,
me that
maybe it's
said
those
that.
guys from the
Yeah.
NFL Network.
Yeah, there you go.
So I mean,
Yeah.
they got their positions confused again. Well, I'm an offensive guru, so
Yeah.
all right. So let's talk about some real guys.
All right.
Sheldon Rankins.
What about him?
Okay, so there's talk, and this is something I heard Zach Strief say.
Yes.
They wouldn't be surprised if he has 10 sacks this year.
No.
And they're just saying the development and that and here's the thing, Strief is right off the roster. So he still has all these guys' numbers, and he's texting them, and apparently, like, he's practically unblockable. Now, we'll see if that actually, but if that happens with the development of David Onyemata,
Because I was going to say, I've been hearing that about your guy. Onyemata, they're talking about, man, he's got
You
good for at
Canadian?
least half a dozen.
All right, hosers, I want all 12 of us fighting for every meter on all 3 downs. We're going to make this a Boxing Day the Prime Minister will never forget.
the man from Canada,
Yeah.
There you
David Onyemata.
But like I said, they're talking about half a dozen for him, 10 for Rankins, 14 for, man.
yeah.
You start
I
adding
tell
up
you
these
what,
numbers.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah. We
They're
going to
have to give us 2 Lombardi trophies this year. We're going to be so
That's
down.
right.
Right.
That's right.
Well, and then you have Hendrickson is feisty. He's out there trying to
That's
start
what they
fighting
say.
everybody.
Yeah.
And listen, I heard a lot of talk about it, and he's one of those guys. He's your stereotypical. Now, I don't want to get all, but he's your stereotypical white guy that goes out there and just over zealous about everything. You're like, calm down, man. We're trying to have practice.
Yeah.
So trying to.
Well, it's always the white guys that they refer to as high motor guys.
Right. Yeah, like, those high motor guys.
Yeah, it's a high motor guy.
So anyway, and then
That's to offset our first round draft.
the
Yeah,
Davenport.
and the short
yeah,
arm.
that's where I'm going.
There you go.
He hasn't been at practice since the last show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And but he's been at practice, so that's positive.
Yeah.
'Cause the last
He's
thing
been
you-
out there working with a medicine ball, so
Right.
that's good.
Right.
You know,
So,
thank God.
Has he been able to
we
get
didn't
around the
do
medicine
something
ball to the
stupid
quarterback?
like give up another first round pick or something for this
Well,
guy, because
maybe-
then we'd really be.
Give up 2 first rounders for the medicine ball?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a big one. It's really big. You
All
know,
right,
it's
everybody's
bigger
getting quiet here. Tomas, you okay? I don't want to get Tomas upset with me.
We're not during the football season yet, so I have
than- No,
to
he
pull
won't.
back my
Yeah,
rant.
well, he's not upset.
My rant
that
has
guy
to
was
pull back.
drafted. He's not an undrafted free agent.
All right, so
Hey, don't talk about my free agents.
y'all,
You haven't even asked me for my list of free agents yet.
Well, you have to start breaking it out because I haven't heard.
We got
much.
reports about how much better Crawley's footwork and all is.
There you
Crawley
go.
is going to be. He's
There's
going to
my
be better
man.
than Lattimore this year. To hell with
Were you
Marcus
trying to
Williams.
make up for those negative comments?
Oh
of
yeah,
Davenport?
yeah, yeah.
He's trying to play nice to me now.
Yeah, no. You talk about Davenport. Everything got quiet for a second.
No,
We have
no,
to-
no. I was high on Crawley from the beginning. We shared that from the beginning because I saw him play at Colorado a few times. I remember Crawley.
All right, so Crawley's improved. You got. I mean, you talking about our defensive backfield?
P-Rob. And they're talking about Millette now being behind P-Rob at the
Okay.
slot.
Now I was listening, talking to someone, and they told me I got to keep my sources. Peanut butter and jelly. They're like that he's playing better, and it's like he's a guy that with more experience that he got last year.
Yeah.
My point is we are so deep. Okay, and this is
Well,
where
he got
okay.
up to 6 games now. I mean, he's got some time under his belt.
3
you
years,
know.
6 games?
Yeah.
He's almost vested.
This
Almost.
is where I'm telling you guys when I start talking about like the fan oozes out of me, because when you just sit there, there's no way in the world all this can happen.
No.
I mean, Rankins is in 10 sacks, and then you have the whole defensive backfield are all basically starters. Just it depends
Well,
on
we
who
might
you
be the
pick.
Baltimore Ravens of old.
I mean,
Remember, they were winning games 6-0.
I do
Remember?
think.
Oh, yeah,
9-3.
Yeah.
all this stuff, it's just not possible. I mean,
Why not?
The probability of all of it happening.
The impossible dream. There you go.
But if it did, I mean, if just some of this, like in essence, let's say Rankins is a 7-sack guy, 6 sacks guy, and so is Onyemata. And then all of a sudden, you know,
You forgot about Okafor?
Okafor. Oh my
And
God.
TX?
Okay, listen. The fact
start
that
adding them up.
the fact that Okafor
Because
is
Okafor can never tear his Achilles tendon again.
Did you hear that?
I did.
I never heard
the
that
doctor
medically.
told him once
Yeah.
it's torn and we fix it, never be torn again.
Yep.
Oh,
Placebo effect.
Did right? Did they tell that to Anzalone too?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Same
I hope
thing.
so. I hope so. If they told that to Anzalone, your shoulder, we fixed it.
Once they tighten that shoulder up, you
Them
good.
Ashna boys, they over there like trying to
Yeah.
make it overcompensating. Listen, we fixed it. You ain't got to worry about it no more.
That's
It's
right.
done.
That's right.
It's good. It's
Achilles tendon just like a bone. You break it there, you never break it again. Yes.
That's it. And you know, I understood. I heard that the secret to repairing these tendons now that you know once it's torn, no worry about it. Slim Jim. They put a Slim Jim in there, and that's it.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Did we go over Davenport's career? Yeah, I think we did. It didn't take. all
Yeah,
right.
that was-
we
yeah.
breezed right by
Yeah,
that. All right.
blinked and missed it.
But no, seriously, the fact that Okafor was on the field day one and has been practicing now, he's gotten a couple of veteran days, and he's probably gonna get more. Meredith the same way, came out of the box,
Yep.
playing.
Yeah.
Then they were like, okay, you good, settle
Went and
down.
got a sandwich at Vaccaro's shop and
That's
came out
right.
the box.
And
Yeah.
just got him a Vaccaro box sandwich.
There you go.
So
Yeah, but just think, if you have 4 guys starting on the defensive line, and each one gets 3 sacks, it's just 4 other guys other than Cam. All right, they get 3 sacks. That's being conservative. 3 sacks. 4 down 3 is 12. Cam gets his 12. That's 24. Now you're not counting the blitzes. You're not counting the linebackers. You're not counting. So how many could we possibly have? Could we set a record for the number of sacks in a season?
what is? I don't even know what is it, like 60 something.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, that's a number.
I
Like,
have to leave it to our statistician. Statistician?
what's the NFL record for sacks as a team?
Look it up.
There you go.
Tyler's on it. We'll have that for you. Let's just
Momentarily.
We'll filibuster. How many sacks
What's the
NFL
record?
record for
Yeah.
a team, not just a player?
In a season.
So here's the thing: is I expect several of these guys to have more than 3. So
Well, that's
your
what I'm
number's
saying.
very conservative.
Yeah.
And there's no. My point is, it's just like, okay, this guy's better than that guy. I don't recall, as much as I'm trying to temper my enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. When's the last time you remember? Oh, this guy, man, he's blah, and this guy's gonna. I mean, there's always 1 or 2
When we
guys
had
that they
Glover.
blow up. Oh, Glover was a beast.
Yeah.
Like right now, nobody's talking about Jordan because you know what Jordan's gonna do. No, oh man, Jordan's gonna be great.
Right.
We're talking about guys that weren't great in the past that you didn't expect to be great. My point is that while all of this can't possibly all happen, it does say that we have a ton of depth that all of
Yeah.
a sudden, and it makes sense. These guys are going into their
Yeah,
second year and they're going in their 3rd year.
You didn't mention Muhammad, your boy.
Oh,
Is that your boy?
no, don't try to put
I
that
thought
on
that
me.
was the guy you were so hot about, man.
Never.
Muhammad, he
No.
was your guy.
No, the only reason I talk about him is because they're still fans. Like it's kind of like pandering.
I
so,
see, I see.
So anyway, let's see. Heath, we have some. Tyler, you got the stat up there for us?
I got the stat, but what did y'all's guess? I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. Good call. I'd say 66 NFL record sacks for a team.
Oh man.
I think it's too high. I'll go with double digits, one lower. 55.
Okay.
So I believe the Saints as a team had 60 some odd sacks one year.
I'm gonna
back
bid
in- back in the
$1,
Dome
Bob.
Patrol.
$1.
I'd like to go
Yeah.
$1.
So Dave would be the winner of Price is Right style. It is 72.
Oh,
72.
Wow.
What did
by
I
the
say?
80 by the 84 Bears.
84
Wow.
Bears. We are the Bears. That's all I know.
Yeah, I know.
72.
God, I hate him.
Hampton.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Fred.
Singletary. All right, so 72. The Saints somewhere in there, 60-something, 65, 66.
Well, I'm sure our
when they're
statistician
doing
will let us know.
during the Dome Patrol years. So, all right. So, yeah, I mean, back to the point is it's just all these guys. The offense is going to be the offense. They're going to do their thing. This defense, man.
Let's be careful. Let's take a step back and let's take a deep breath because as much as we've learned this in the past, okay, about training camp
some
reports and
meditation.
all, early on, we're not even to the first preseason game just yet. And everybody is so improved that you just wouldn't believe it. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I agree
Completely
with that.
unbelievable.
Having said that, I don't remember.
Unbelievable would be the key word.
Every team, man, they're ready to compete for a Super Bowl. They're ready to make the next move. They're taking the next step. I get it.
You heard that about the Falcons?
No, they're the team,
Oh, okay.
the one team. I heard about the Browns.
The Browns.
Not the Falcons.
Yeah, they have a real quarterback.
Do I think this team is going to be better? Yes. Do I think they have the potential to be better? Yes. Do I think all of them will pan out the way it looks right now?
I agree.
No.
I agree. It's just the point is there's so many. Usually, if you look at it, you got your 8-year veteran who what do you got? He's a 4-sack guy. He's a backup. But there's so many potential guys, and I think that's where the enthusiasm comes from. The excitement is that usually you don't have this many young guys who did well in their first year that the potential is there for them to improve to the next level. Maybe that's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So it's just, look, it's exciting. Thursday night, we're going to find out. And not
You
everything.
always got to worry about the sophomore slump. For any of the teams, for any guys that were new last year, Rankins had his own last year. Rankins had 4 sacks in the shortened season his rookie year after he had to be out for the first however many games it was.
First 8 games.
And then last year, playing in all 16 games, only had 2.
Right.
And so, we spent a lot of time talking about how he played so well in other areas because,
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think we have to worry
draft.
about that with Lattimore because Devontae Harris is right there pushing him.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Devontae Harris is
You remember somebody
nipping on his nails. Yeah. No,
Somebody asked us about
He's-
who would be the ones that would have a great show, but we forget about it.
Yeah.
You remember? And people put different things. We all put something down. And my 2 were Devontae Harris and
Yeah, it was Craig Wright or whatever.
Was it-
that
was
is.
it Craig who
Yeah,
did
he
that?
said who's going to
stand out. What 2 or 3 are going to stand out, and we'll forget
Well,
about them
here's
within
the
a day.
thing. Okay, so if we're going to switch gears for a second here and talk a little bit about Thursday night's game.
All right, Thursday night
The
game.
one thing is we're talking, man, I can't wait to see Smith, and Traquan Smith run through and catching some ball. And I want to see Taysom Hill, and we going up against one of the, I don't even want to say one of the better defenses of the league. You're talking about a defense that this year might be on the level of some all-time great defenses in Jacksonville. So I would not expect, and I wouldn't use this week's game as a test to decide what you think.
all those guys you just mentioned, wanting to see how they do, they're going to be playing when that defense isn't still in the game anymore.
Right, that's true.
No matter how well Traquan Smith is done, he's not going to be in with the starters.
Yeah, and not to mention those starters on both teams will probably play.
Now
no
the
more
problem
than,
is that
two series.
Yeah, 2 series. It may be looking a little better more recently, but the reason I didn't go with a wide receiver with who I thought was going to show anything in this game is because I'm looking at who those guys are going to have throwing the ball to them.
Right.
And that was Hill and Savage. And up until the last day or two, it didn't look so good.
We
And
might
Barrett,
see
forget
2
about it.
series with some defensive starters, maybe 3. But I promise you, after this game, we'll be even more excited than I was in the last 15 minutes of discussing it.
Well,
because they're going up against Blake Bortles and that offense that.
I think our offense will only go 2 series, our first string. But I wouldn't be surprised if a quote-unquote starting defense goes for the entire first quarter.
Maybe.
And I say that simply because we don't really have a starting defense.
Well,
you know what I'm
that's the
saying?
thing.
We had so many people out last year, linebackers alone.
Right.
And they've been playing all these linebackers at different positions.
Well, speaking of that, we got our first
the
unofficial
depth chart
from training camp.
And who's the starting? Well, I can pull it up.
Okay.
And who's the starting will linebacker?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you hadn't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's our
Davis.
prized signing. Yeah, he's the
number
they
one
have him listed
free
at will.
agent?
Guess who's in the middle?
What's his name from Carolina?
No.
Klein. No.
Teo. Guy I talked about last week.
Teo.
Yeah, he's listed as the starter in the middle at the mic. Got Klein at Sam.
Huh.
But interestingly, they had some co-starters. You had Rankins and Onyemata were both listed as starter.
Yeah.
And then you had both Coleman and Bell listed at
Well, that's
starter
good.
at safety.
That's good because I've heard a lot about Coleman, but Bell, I've heard more from him this summer than I did last summer.
Yeah.
But even that was, I'm waiting to hear more. And
Well, my point is that I think that we have so many parts and interchangeable parts on our defense, and people who showed a little bit, like T. Hex, and then was out. Okafor out. And we also all the linebackers. We were down to Marty and and Robertson. I mean, that's all we had left.
Oh, and
at one point.
interestingly, they had Edmonds listed as backup
A fullback. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Edmonds
they've
backup
been playing
fullback.
him.
Yeah,
They've
he's been playing it.
Yeah.
You know, so it'll be
Which means
interesting
he
to
won't
see
make
how
the
that
team.
winds up going.
Yeah, that's never a good
That's the kiss
sign.
of death right there, because we only give one.
That's never a
Yeah.
good sign when you're
Yeah.
going into like year 3 and the coach says, "Hey, we've been thinking about moving you from left tackle to nose guard."
Well, now,
You know,
they
it's
did
just-
move. They did
Yeah.
move a guy though that looks like he might stick with the team, and that's Arnold at tight end.
well, not just
Yeah.
stick. I'm listening to guys saying that he's giving linebackers a hard time. Now, apparently, he can't block.
He can't
where-
block. That's
Well,
can't
that's
block.
that's the issue.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but he's actually a very good pass catching.
He
He's
just-
another guy.
Yeah,
that
just-
I'm starting to hear his name.
Yeah.
And again, maybe I feel like by saying this, it lends more validity to my opinion. So, like, I don't give any props or respect to guys who were signed as undrafted or off the street free agent until they earn it. And so when I bring up a guy like Arnold and the receiver that we brought up, and I can't remember his name, Kirkwood.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing things to get their name spoken and getting their face,
Recognized.
Yeah.
So the point is that these are guys that I'm gonna look forward to seeing when we get to Thursday night.
Yeah. See how that practice squad's going to shape up.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, a lot of these guys are going to be, now, if any of them flash too much, it's going to get interesting because they're going to want to protect this guy.
Well, then
like
you know
Arnold.
what happens at that point? The mysterious, man, he's injured.
Yeah.
He'll be on
Injured
IR.
reserve. Yep.
The mysterious. We think
Yeah,
it might
I
be
mean-
turf toe.
Yeah.
my kidney. Here's the thing. A couple of things that we'll see. One is this year, unlike many years in the past, we will see some guys who will get cut and who will be picked up and play in the league.
Immediately.
Now, we always, every year, no matter how bad we are, there's always some guy, oh, man, we cut him and they'll sign him right away, and he's
Yeah.
back on the practice squad.
Yeah.
There will be guys the Saints cut that will be picked up by other teams. And the other thing is, we haven't done very well in preseason when it comes to wins and losses. The thing about it is, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, if Drew Brees is not in the game, look at the Vikings game, although we end up not winning. If Drew Brees leaves in the first quarter, do we even have a chance to win that game? My point is that the result of the game means nothing. But what you can tell is your depth.
Right.
Now all of a sudden we're sitting there talking about, man, we got all these corners, we got these defensive linemen and pass rushers. We have those are the guys who are going to be in the game in the second half, where usually we got guys who aren't even going to be in the league. So it looks like in the second half of games we're going to have linebackers like Craig Robinson, maybe not the greatest linebacker, but he is a good, solid NFL linebacker. Any team would be happy to have him as a backup.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he's going to be on the field. Stupar.
Yeah, Stupar's back. Yeah.
Then you're going to have defensive linemen rotating through there, like Hendrickson, and hopefully we get our rookie first-round draft pick in the game so that he can get some experience. Now you're talking about talented guys. Even meet George Johnson. Meet George Johnson.
Yeah.
His boy Leroy.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing, and these guys are not quality, man, because I don't. But are good NFL players. And they're going to be in the game, not some undrafted free agent guy that can't do anything, and you end up just watching. How many times have we watched a preseason game and we're trying to enjoy a Saints game in the offseason, and it's just frustrating to watch these guys, man.
We've gotten to the point with the good drafts, the good signings of free agents, we've gotten to the point where the people that the Saints cut, there are other teams that are already looking at the Saints roster going, they're going to cut this guy. They're going to cut this guy. We want this guy. This guy will be starting on our team. I mean, I just mentioned to you that Carolina, the famous Scamplers, they lost one offensive lineman in free agency. Now they've lost 2 to injuries. So they're 3 down offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, somebody going to kiss the donkey.
There you go. And I'm telling you right now, they're looking at the Saints and saying, who do they have that we can pick up? Because we're going to be cutting offensive linemen that'll make it on another team. We're going to be cutting defensive linemen that are going to be making it on another team. I really can't think of a position where we're going to cut somebody and say, nah, he's not making anybody else's team at this point. What a big difference based on, and again, I give all credit to Ireland, based on the last 3 years of draftings and signings. I can't. The Saints have built up not only starters, but backups as well.
Right. Depth. And again,
Except tight end.
a glaring hole tight end. But, it is what it is. The thing that literally I sometimes catch myself just kind of getting discouraged is there's think about all the guys. Marcus Williams is the big guy right now. Everybody's talking about. Lattimore can play. Crawley, I don't think is on that level, but is still a very good, based on last year, still has things he needs to improve on.
I will tell you this.
Hey, hang on.
Crawley is a number one cornerback on at least half of the teams in the NFL.
I don't think so. I'm
telling you, at least half of the teams in the NFL would have him as the number one cornerback.
I think he is a solid, good number 2 cornerback. And if he cleans up all the penalties from last year, then you might be able to start making the argument. That's my take on it. But the point is, where he's at right now, you know how much money he's going to command when his contract comes up? You're talking about like Rankins. If Rankins has this year, him and Onyemata came out. Now Rankins a first rounder, so they have 5 years. But Onyemata, if he comes out and plays the way we starting to hear, man, just go down the list of all the things, all the players that you can't possibly pay. Yeah. Michael Thomas. He's going to command all-star money.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram. He, for whatever reason,
he's up first. That's why I bring up his name, because he's up first.
I kind of feel like the Saints.
I don't know that we re-signed Mark Ingram.
And I agree with you.
I think they're looking down this same list we're looking down, and I think they're going, Mark Ingram might be a guy that we're going to have to let go in order to sign the Thomas. And
traditionally, the Saints have been able to find running backs later in the draft, in free agency. Yeah. So I don't see. And that's
a lot of you'll find out a lot this year if whether it's Jonathan Williams or if it's
Boston Scott.
Boston Scott. That what these guys do is going to tell if one of those guys really comes out and plays well that first 4 games in particular and all and contributes and everything.
It'll seal his fate. It will.
Yeah.
But and then you go to the offensive side, you got the same problems over there, man. You have some guys that when their contracts come up, it's how do you keep all these guys and all this depth? And I know the salary cap keeps going up, but so does the salaries. Every time a big time player comes up, and it's like wide receivers.
It's a new record. It's all
$6-7 million.
This is why
now receivers are trying to get $14 million, $16 million.
Well, this is why we have a 2-year window, in my opinion. That's it. After the 2-year window, we're done because we're not going to pay all those people. Plus, until we get a rookie quarterback with a 5-year rookie deal.
Right.
Because Breeze is going to keep escalating. And at some point, you can't keep signing him and expect to be able to sign Michael Thomas.
Right.
Be able to sign,
the one thing about that, and you're talking as it relates to Breeze, at some point, they're going to have to, you have to make a choice. In years past, we never had to make a choice. It was never Breeze or...
Right.
Ooh.
Because the team sucked. But okay.
Now it's going to be Breeze, or do you keep Williams, Crawley, and Lattimore? Now, again, I'm just saying because actually that'd be more like 3 years down the road. But Crawley's up in 2 years. This is his 3rd year, isn't it? Yeah. So we got this year, next year.
Yeah.
He's if I assume 4-year deal. I don't know. I don't have his contract in front of me, but So it's just. Look, if we're going to make a move, I don't want to turn this into a negative. All these great players, and now I'm sitting here to literally get
it's a good problem to have. It's a great problem to have. The way you deal with it is that you continue to draft the way they drafted that got us to this point. You got to keep that pipeline going, and this is what the Patriots have always done. They've always gotten in this position. Well, how are you going to keep paying up? Well, they drafted their replacements, is what they did.
Right.
And you get guys that you might get a little hometown deal because if they look at it like you got a few years that you legitimate contenders.
Well, and
you might get a few guys there.
Some of the things too, developing your roster. If you're a contender, you're always first in line for the aging veteran who still has 1 or 2 left in the tank. Right. That we always see these guys go to teams like New England and these bigger name teams that are competing.
Well, like Ricky Jackson went to San Francisco in his career to win, just so he could win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For those of you who listen to podcasts, Ricky Jackson was a great player for the Saints a long time ago. Okay. So, but no, how many times you have these older guys that go and you're like, they still play well. They at the end of their career and they end up playing for a fraction.
George Johnson.
Yeah.
Me, George Johnson. Well, okay, I can see things are falling apart.
No, look, I want to say one more thing.
All right, one more thing.
Because you had brought this up. in the Loomis interview that I was watching, this question was asked of him, well, what's the situation when all these people come doing, they're going to move on to a better situation. And he said, look, it's a good problem to have. He said, we want all of our players to excel, and if we can keep them, great. If we can't, if they have a better opportunity, okay. But we always want to have the same problem.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, and this is where the angst comes from. But having said that, do you want him to be like, oh, well, Marcus Williams kind of regressed, and he should be serviceable.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, we're going to get to re-sign him, So at some point, you just have to hope.
Yeah.
But here's the next thing. Ireland, if he keeps this up, he is not going to be sticking around for that long.
Well, no, I think he will. I think he will, because I think what they'll do is they'll change the titles. I think they'll move Loomis up one more level.
Too, yeah.
Well, maybe Loomis, too, can move up into a position where he oversees, and he already oversees the Pelicans and the Saints, and has his own title as something else.
Yeah, that's what'll happen.
Yeah.
Certainly.
You got to hope that's what happens, because, man, I tell you, you can talk about Lattimore, you can talk about Breeze, you can talk about all these guys. The man who made it all happen.
And Jeff Ireland.
Jeff Ireland. Because, like you said,
Proof's in the pudding.
You can't get
3 years.
He's the guy that gets them there. You know what I'm saying? Get you the talent, you develop it.
Yep.
If he's gone, and we go back to it, just thought of going back to the days of where we drafting guys like what's his name that got yanked out of the game, Jean Baptiste.
When they said, what? Who's playing what?
I'm watching this game. My eyes are starting to glaze over. It's getting a little boring, and all of a sudden there's a penalty, and the guy comes off, and I saw that name, and I'm like, it can't be another Jean Baptiste. It ain't like it's Richardson or Smith. And sure enough, I mean, the guy must have some natural talent that coaches like, I can get it out of him.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
All right.
He just had to get into the DB guru.
Yeah,
That's
he
it.
just find a DB guru.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Heath, you got any final thoughts?
I got nothing.
Tomas?
Now, for the next hour, just don't forget. It'll be real easy. You come up with your subscription. It's a 2-year subscription. Listen, you won't even feel it.
It's like a cup of coffee a day.
Look, if you're willing to go to $5, you know what I'm talking about, right? It used to be called Starbucks. It's $5. You go in now, a plain cup of coffee.
That's
$7.
small.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, no. It's a grande.
No, that's the next size up. No, you just want a tall.
Oh, tall.
The tall is the first one. That's $5.
No, it's got some Italian name. What are they?
It's a grande.
Tall, grande, venti.
Yeah, venti.
And then they have one even bigger than that one. I can't remember the name of it. But they have one that's like freaking,
The first one is
big gulp.
So we
Tall.
got grande and venti and tall.
Tall. I'm sorry.
That
I'm
makes
sorry. That's what they
perfect
have.
sense.
That's what they
Yeah,
have.
I get that.
But in any case, see, you've messed up.
Sorry.
If you're willing to pay $5 every day for Starbucks, all I'm saying to you is like, look, instead of Starbucks, go to McDonald's. And then you put that investment into Bitcoin. And we, look.
You got to transfer it to Bitcoin.
It's so easy.
We don't even accept money
That's
no
what
more.
I'm saying. It's like a no-thought process. You sign up, 2-year subscription. You won't even think about it.
Yeah.
First month, well, 0.030. then the months after that, 0.0015. You cut it in half. For 2 years, you get the best information on the Saints that Bitcoin can buy.
He just confuses them. That's what it is.
Yeah,
By the time, next thing you know, I paid $32,000 for that podcast last year.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the way I look at it, go ahead and send them a couple of bucks because they sound like they need it, man. I mean, if you go, brother, man, you got some spare change?
I'm just saying, it costs money to come back and forth to the studio.
Yes.
Yes. And so there's gasoline money.
Oh, did I tell
There's
you, we
wear
got
and
some
tear.
sponsors. We gonna get you some of that gas money you've been needing.
There you go,
on
man,
top of the
'cause,
Bitcoin. And I'm gonna pay
Dave
you. I'm
lives
gonna pay
out
you
in the
cash.
middle of nowhere. Okay?
I don't.
BFE, that's Dave.
I don't.
I
don't. The luxurious studios.
You leave at
of the
night, you have to
BS&B.
turn every light on in your car so you can see your way out of here. It's so dark. It's like a monkey's you know what.
All right, I think it's time to get out of
We're
here.
having fun. The season's just around the corner. Now, by the way, what do we have for the game? Before we close up now,
the big
do you have any
game? The big
predictions
game. I forgot the big game.
Because we normally, over under or last over under I saw was like 30-something points. I don't remember that.
I'd say
30-something points?
30-something points.
I'll put 2 Bitcoins on it being
2 Bitcoins?
2 Bitcoins.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
That's a big bet, boy.
15 grand. Well, good.
on it'll be under 14 points.
Under 14 points.
Yes.
Wow.
I bet
we
you
have
14.
to get our wallet together, brother,
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah,
gonna fund
yeah.
this by himself.
Yeah.
Well, anybody who wants to take me up on this, You mail me your acceptance to the or send it.
You have to be a
to
subscriber.
My Go PayPal me account.
There you go. But you
Yeah.
have to be a subscriber in order
Wallet.
to participate.
The wallet. You got to put wallet.com on the end of it.
Bitcoin wallet. That's right.
All right.
But you have to have a subscriber first. You can't participate if you're not subscribed.
How long are you going to drag this out?
No.
Well, just tell me now. What your pick is? Jacksonville or the Saints? So you know,
I told you seriously. The score is going to be like
14
like
points or
6-3.
6-3. That's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 0.0000001 Bitcoin. That'll be more than 14 points.
That'll be more than 14.
All right.
Yeah.
When I figure out how much that is, we'll shake on it.
All right. I'm going under the 35.
All right. Well,
There you go.
I want to thank Tyler Kistner for producing the show today. For Heath Elson, Tomas Mauricio, I'm Dave Romero. You've been listening to the BS and Beer podcast. We'll talk to you next week.
Later.